Hey guys, hope you're having a great day. Today's training topic, we're going to be talking about some sub 3 hour marathon training plan strategies that I've created in a lot of the training programs that I've created on RunDreamAchieve.com, as well as the running courses as well. I do know if you're going to break a sub 3 hour marathon, really have to start focusing more on quality over quantity. I talk a lot about this. I continue to stress this, but if too high a percentage of your weekly volume is spent running at speeds that are about a minute, 35 seconds to a minute slower than your goal race pace, it's going to be very difficult to run a 2:59:59 for the marathon. And anybody that's going after a sub 3 hour marathon is definitely going to want to have a sub 3 hour marathon training plan that's going to set them up for success, where you know exactly what you need to be doing on a daily, weekly, and monthly basis for that 16-week block of training. And I have a training running course that I created on RunDreamAchieve called the Sub 3 Hour Marathon Pro course. And this is for highly skilled, highly disciplined, focused athletes that are trying to run 2:59:59 or faster for the marathon. To run that fast, you've got to hold 6:52 mile pace. I've built my running courses and my training programs around a large portion of the training around heart rate monitor training, where we focus on training the anaerobic systems of the body as well as the aerobic systems of the body. And I didn't really focus on heart rate monitor training until 1996 when I was a freshman in college under Jack Hazen. Jack Hazen is one of the world's top distance running coaches, middle distance coaches as well, and he kind of got me involved in focusing more on heart rate over worrying about what kilometer splits or what mile splits I was hitting during my training. And pretty much since 1996, I've focused mainly on heart rate monitor training. I think that as your heart gets stronger, as you get fitter, the miles and the splits, the kilometer splits, will take care of themselves. You need to focus more on smarter training rather than working harder to run a sub 3 hour marathon. It's not about volume, it's about the quality of the volume that you're putting in, as well as training at paces that are closer to 6-minute mile pace in order to get that 6:52 mile pace to feel more in control. You do not want it to feel aggressive. And a sub 3 hour marathon, anybody that's going for that type of time is an elite athlete, in my opinion. Anything under 3 hours for the marathon distance, to me, is an elite time. I've run 2:19:35 for the marathon, debuted in the distance with a 2:43:36 at the 2002 New York City Marathon. So I know how difficult a sub 3 hour marathon is. I've experienced setbacks as well over the years, and I dealt with trying to figure out what I needed to do to run faster for that 42.2K, 26.2 mile distance. And I've really felt that the big ways for you to get to a point where you can break a sub 3 hour marathon is you run faster paced long runs. I teach this in the running courses. The Sub 3 Hour Marathon Pro, we cover this heavily, as well as there's numerous video tutorials in that the Sub 3 Hour Marathon Pro course, where I teach you a lot of specifics on race pace training, on mindset, on nutrition, weight training, a lot of different topics that we cover to get to a point where you have that overview of what you're trying to do and what you need to be doing. And at the end of the running course, there is a sub 3 hour marathon training schedule. That's a 16-week block of training where you know exactly what you need to be doing on a daily basis for those 4 straight months. The big reason why I think a lot of athletes are getting results is because they're at the end of the training program. I conclude with a 10-day taper and not a 3-week taper. I think I'm a big believer in following a 10-day taper, because it will not, in a lot of cases, a lot of athletes do the 3-week taper, but with a 10-day taper, you don't feel as lethargic and as tired as a lot of athletes. I've tried 3 weeks in the past, but I've always set personal best doing a 10-day taper rather than a 3-week taper. So that's another benefit of enrolling in the Sub 3 Hour Marathon Pro course, is you get to know exactly what a 2:19 marathoner, how that training, that athlete has done training over the years, to get the results that I've been able to achieve in the sport. I think that you'll learn a lot more tactics, a lot of different strategies that some of the world's top distance coaches taught me. Examples of coaches I've been taught by is Dr. Joe Vigil. He was the coach at Adams State University. He was the coach of the first team in NCAA cross country history that went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 at the national championship. As well as Jack Hazen, who's been at Malone University for about 52 years, one of the world's top coaches, and Lisa Rainsberger, who coached me when I was with the World Class Athlete program. She won the 1985 Boston Marathon, is a 2:28 marathoner herself, 52:10 for 10 miles. Really a phenomenal athlete. So a lot of what you'll learn in those in the sub 3 hour marathon pro course is those types of mindset, those types of strategies that will teach you a different way of preparing for the sub 3 hour marathon barrier and getting under that time barrier. I also have training programs on RunDreamAchieve.com that are not as extensive as the running courses. They're basically just the training schedules that you need to follow in order to run the specific time you're going for, whether it's a 5K all the way up to the marathon distance. They vary in duration from 4 weeks to 16 weeks. I definitely recommend that if you're aiming for a sub 3 hour marathon, you need to train for at least 12 weeks and preferably at 16 weeks. You need that 4-month block of training where you can really build into your endurance, focus on the anaerobic threshold workouts that we do, the aerobic capacity workouts, those VO2 max workouts where you're pushing your heart rate at max efforts or very close to heart rate at max efforts. That's really key to train at least once a week doing VO2 max workouts, pushing the body at those really high anaerobic efforts where you're running much faster, preferably around 30 seconds or faster than your marathon race pace. A lot of times closer to a minute faster than your goal marathon race pace. That's going to make your goal marathon race pace feel more in control, less aggressive, and you're going to be able to sustain that pace. You're going to be able to teach your body to burn lactic acid faster than it's building up and burn fat at race pace and to conserve carbohydrate. That is what you do not want to run out of in the marathon. The big reason why a lot of athletes hit the wall is because they're running way too fast early on in the race and their muscles shut down. They run out of sugars, but also they're producing such a high amount of lactic acid that their body can't clear it. And it's the hydrogen ion of lactic acid that's the component that really shuts down our muscle functioning. And the best way to be able to sustain sub 3 hour marathon pace is to invest in a sub 3 hour marathon training plan that's going to tell you exactly what you need to be doing in your preparation to get under that sub 3 hour marathon barrier and to run that 2:59:59. You have to do more than the average athlete to run a time that fast. Anything in the twos is an elite time in my opinion, especially at 2:59:59 or anything under is a elite, highly aggressive, competitive marathon time. And so you're going to have to think outside the box. You're going to have to do the things most other athletes are not willing to do in order to run that fast. A lot of my background has been around learning the ebbs and flows of the business of middle to long distance running. I started off just like anybody else. I didn't have a lot of talent in high school. Started off running the mile in 5:30 as a freshman in high school, and I ran 11:30 for the 2 mile in high school as a freshman. By the time I graduated high school, I ran 4:25 for the mile, and 2 flat for the 800, and 9:46 for the 2 mile. Continued to train after high school, went on to college, ran 15:19 for the 5K, 1:13 for the half marathon, 4 flat for the 1500 meter. Then continued on after college to train military, enlisted into the military in 2002, became a member of the U.S. Army World Class Athlete program in 2007, and ultimately achieved a 2008 USA Olympic Trials A standard marathon time, running under 2 hours 20 minutes at the 2007 California International Marathon. I ended up finishing 4th place overall as the top American and ran 2:19:35. So That's kind of the background that I've had with the sport, so I definitely know what it takes to run a sub 3 hour marathon and what a sub 3 hour marathon training plan needs to entail in order to get the athlete to train it at the proper level to get the best results at the end. And again, running easy, long, slow mileage is still very important. I stress this, not just the faster paced long runs and doing the longer anaerobic threshold runs where we extend out from like starting off at around 3 to 4 miles and extending out to between 10 to 12 miles in length. But running easy is still very important because you want to be able to, your body to be able to react to the physiological changes that are occurring from that heavy anaerobic workouts that you're doing. Whether those are fartlek workouts, 3 minutes hard, 2 minutes easy, 3 minutes hard, 2 minutes easy, or doing repetitions on the track, repeat Ks, repeat miles, repeat 600s. You want to be able to recover from those heavy, fast-paced efforts. So running easy, especially on your easy days, is one of the most critical aspects of preparing for a sub 3 hour marathon. You want to train smarter rather than harder. We have plenty of hard-working athletes around the world that do everything they possibly can do and still don't break the 3 hour marathon barrier. They're out there doing, 100 miles to, 150K per week, crazy mileage, but still have difficulties holding that 652 mile pace for the entire 26.2, 42.2 kilometer event. And a big reason why is they're not spending sufficient time training at paces much faster than 652 per mile pace. You want to get closer to a point where you can do mile repetitions on the track in around 5 minutes and 45 seconds to 550 per mile, and do about 6 reps of those at that pace with about a 2-minute recovery, or doing repeat 2 miles in around closer to 12 flat per 2 mile, with around 5 to 6 minutes recovery in between each three repetitions of those repeat 2 miles. So those types of workouts, as well as extending the amount of time we're spending at the anaerobic threshold, which is the point where lactic acid starts to build up in your bloodstream. You want to be able to extend that time, spend more time and more duration training at that heart rate. That way you can get to a point where you're going to be able to improve your body's lactate tolerance at a very high level. And then when you start to drop your volume and you do that 10-day taper and do that 3 mile at marathon goal race pace 4 days out from the big race, you are going to go into your marathon in peak shape. You're going to have the mindset, because you visualized yourself running 2:59:59 over and over and over again for at least 15 to 20 minutes every single day for that 4-month period. You want to stay consistent with your mental training as well. The great Billy Mills said it best. He said, the subconscious mind cannot tell the difference between reality or imagination. It doesn't know the difference between you being a 3:59 marathoner right now or a 2:59 marathon athlete. So you have to, in a way, trick your mind into believing something that you're not currently capable of doing yet. But if you visualize yourself doing it, on top of doing the required heavy anaerobic work, aerobic work, VO2 max training work, both of those are going to combine, and you're going to get to your race in peak shape, and you're going to break the sub 3 hour marathon barrier. So I hope this video on the sub 3 hour marathon training plan, some of the key concepts that we cover in the sub 3 hour marathon pro, has been helpful. Leave me a comment below if you have a specific question. If you're definitely give me a thumbs up, share the video. I definitely appreciate all the support. Helps the channel grow. And I will talk to you guys in the next video.